Unit 2, Amazing Young People. Student's Book, page 20. Activity 1. Most of us dream of doing great things during our lifetime. Read and listen to these popular life dreams. Which ones do you hope to achieve?
Dreams. Climb Mount Everest. Meet a world leader. Ride a camel or an elephant. Learn how to play the piano, the guitar, or the violin. Be a contestant on a game or reality show. Take award-winning pictures of nature. Help the poor and those in need. Speak another language or two. Travel around the world. Become a doctor and work in a developing country. Start a company. Become a millionaire. Write and publish a book.
Student's Book, page 21. Activity 3. Listen. You will hear about some amazing young people and what they've achieved. As you listen, find answers to the questions. 1.
Hou Yifan was born in Xinhua, Jiangsu, China, in 1994. Yifan has been playing chess since she was 3 years old. When she was 10 years old, she won first place at the World Youth Championship. Since then, she has won several major international chess tournaments, including the 2010 World Chess Championship. Yifan, who has been called a chess genius, believes in having goals. She once said, "I believe you should have goals and reach them step by step."
2.
William Kamkwamba was born in Malawi in 1987. He's lived in Malawi since he was born. When he was a young boy, his village had no electricity. When he was about 14 years old, William built a windmill using materials from a junkyard. The windmill provided electricity, allowing William's family to irrigate their farm. Since then, he has built other things, like a solar-powered water pump that supplied the first drinking water in his village. William believes his life proves something. With hard work, anything in life is possible.
3.
Johnny Strange was born in 1991 and is from Malibu, California. He has been mountain climbing with his father since the age of 12. Johnny's goal was to climb one summit per continent. By June 2009, Johnny, at age 17, achieved his goal, the youngest ever to have done this. He tells other teens, "Pursue your dreams. Even if you don't succeed, if you try your hardest, the experience will help you."
Student's Book, page 22. Activity 5. Listen and read. Why is Jimmy different from the kids around him? Jimmy Woodard, Computer Whiz Kid, by Chris Winger.
Where do you see yourself at 17? Owning a business? Owning a car? Saving for college? Chances are you'll eventually do these things, but maybe not when you're 17, unless you're someone like Jimmy Woodard. Jimmy Woodard is a high school student from Manchester, Vermont, USA. In many ways, Jimmy is a normal teenager who spends a lot of time online every day. But in other ways, Jimmy has always been different from the kids around him. When Jimmy was very young, his parents realized he had a special gift. While other children were playing with toys, Jimmy would take his toys apart to find out how they worked. But Jimmy's gift really became obvious when he started using computers. Jimmy was only 6 when he started using his parents' computer. That's not so unusual these days. However, in Jimmy's case, if he had a problem with the computer, he figured out how to fix it by himself. When Jimmy was in 5th grade, his technology teacher gave him a computer to work on. Jimmy took the computer apart and put it back together again. Since then, Jimmy has been working with computers in his school, even helping teachers with their technology problems. When he was 14, Jimmy decided to open his own technology consulting company. Since that time, he's brought in about 200 regular customers. One of them is former astronaut Gerald Carr. "It feels funny sometimes," said Jimmy with a smile. "I can't believe I'm helping an astronaut with his computer." Jimmy has done more than just work on computers. Since he was 11 or 12, Jimmy has been helping and working in his community. He's managed the sound and lights for a local TV show and for theatrical performances. Jimmy has also worked as a DJ. "I've been a DJ at more than 50 dance events already," he said. "It's really fun." Jimmy has saved a lot of money over the past 3 years. "I've just bought my own car," he said happily. "I've used some of my money to buy more computers or equipment from my company, but I'm trying to save the rest of it for college." As for his future, Jimmy explained, "I don't know what I want to do yet. I know I want to do something with computers, but I'm interested in a lot of different things. I'd like to live in a big city someday. I can't wait to see what happens next."
Student's Book, page 24. Activity 7. Listen and read. What has Zach been doing on the computer?
Zach, you've been on the computer for a while now.
I know. I have to write a biography about an amazing person, so I've been doing research on someone. This guy is so interesting.
Who is it?
William Kamkwamba. He's been a builder and an inventor since he was a teenager.
What has he built?
His village in Malawi had no electricity or running water, so he built a windmill, and he was only 14.
Wow! How did he know how to make a windmill?
He got some books from the library and studied the diagrams.
He made a windmill from a diagram? That's amazing!
I know!
Student's Book, page 24. Activity 9. Listen and complete the sentences. Use the correct form of the verb. 1,
I'm so glad your family invited me to this.
I'm glad you came. So you said you've never been to the ballet before, right?
Never. This is my first time. I can't believe your sister is going to be on that stage.
Amazing, isn't it? She's amazing.
How long has she been a dancer?
Well, she's been dancing since she was about 5 years old. But she's been dancing professionally since she was 15.
15? That's young.
I know. Oh, look! It's about to start.
2,
Who's in this picture?
Which one?
The one on your dresser. The man getting an award.
Oh, that's my favorite uncle, Uncle Buddy.
Buddy?
His real name is Charles. He's pretty famous.
What does he do?
Medical research. A lot of his research has been published in medical journals.
And he's famous for the research?
Yes, but he's also famous for how young he was when he started. He's been doing medical research for 10 years, and he's only 25.
He was only 15 when he started? Wow, smart man.
3,
George, what's your brother doing on his computer? I can see he's really getting into it.
He's probably working on one of his computer programs.
He designs computer programs? But he's only 12.
I know. He started designing programs when he was about 9, so for the past 3 years.
9? That's incredible.
He's in trouble with my parents, though. He wants to drop out of school and work on his programs all day.
You're joking.
Yeah, I am. He's a good kid, really.
4,
I can hear music coming from your garage. Is your dad in there working?
That's not the radio. That's my brother's band.
What? They sound professional.
Well, that's nice of you. He and his girlfriend have been playing in rock bands together for a long time, since they were 13. The rest of the band members are new.
They're in 12th grade now, right?
Yeah, they're going to college next year.
College? They should go on tour.
I'm sure they'll keep playing while they're in college.
Student's Book, page 26. Activity 13. Listen and read. Then answer the questions. Amazing young people through the ages.
Do you think kids are too young to make a difference in the world? Do you think only adults can start companies and win awards? If so, think again. Throughout history, there have always been gifted young people with exceptional talents and abilities for their age. As children or teenagers, they did amazing things that changed lives. Read on for inspiration. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was one very famous gifted child. He could play the piano at the age of 3 and the violin at 6. Amadeus composed his first symphony at the age of 8 and wrote an opera at 14. He went on to become one of the most important music composers of all time. Louis Braille was born in France in 1809. He started working on a special alphabet, later called Braille, to help blind people read when he was just 12 years old. Louis lost his eyesight in an accident at the age of 3, but he was determined to create a system to help blind people. Today, blind people all over the world use the Braille system. 14-year-old Nadia Comaneci scored a perfect 10 in gymnastics at the 1976 Olympic Games. She was the first person ever to do this. People still remember Nadia for her exceptional skills and abilities as a gymnast. Pelé, whom every young soccer player dreams about, was only 17 when he scored 6 goals in 4 games in the 1958 World Cup, making Brazil the champion in soccer that year. He later became a soccer legend and a national hero. He was listed in the Guinness Book of Records as the professional soccer player with the highest number of goals in his career. What about kids and technology? Mark Zuckerberg was only 19 when he started Facebook with some friends of his at Harvard University. The social media platform has changed the way people around the world keep in touch with each other. Also at age 19, Steve Jobs was learning the skills that helped create Apple, and Bill Gates was ready to co-found a company called Microsoft.
Student's Book, page 28. Activity 18. Listen and read. Where did Daniel go last summer? What has his dad learned to make?
We went to Japan last summer. Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't. What was it like?
Amazing. We stayed there for 2 weeks and I didn't want to leave. I want to go back next year. I've even started learning Japanese.
Wow. Did you like the food there?
Yes, I loved it. My favorite dish was sashimi. Have you ever tried it?
No, I haven't. I've never eaten Japanese food.
Well, basically it's raw fish.
Raw fish? That sounds weird.
It's delicious, and my dad has learned to make it. He made octopus sashimi for us last Saturday, and he's making eel sashimi for dinner this Saturday. Would you like to come?
Thanks, but I think I'm busy on Saturday.
Student's Book, pages 30 and 31. Activity 25. Listen and read. Choose the correct words. Seeds of peace.
Throughout history, there has hardly ever been a moment when the whole world was at peace. There have been world wars between many countries and also countless conflicts between 2 nations. Unfortunately, there still are. Every day we hear about individuals, politicians, and world leaders trying to bring peace to countries at war. Sometimes they succeed, but often they don't. However, there's another group of people, one you probably haven't heard about, that is trying to do the same thing. Their message is more hopeful because they're young. They're mainly teenagers who've seen war and conflict and want to change things. These teenagers belong to an organization called Seeds of Peace. Seeds of Peace was started in 1993 by a reporter named John Wallach, The group began with 46 teenagers and educators. Since then, it has grown to more than 5,000 participants from 27 different countries. Each summer, 350 new seeds from countries in conflict are carefully chosen by the Seeds of Peace. These teenagers attend the Seeds of Peace International Summer Camp, where they meet and live with teenagers whose countries are enemy countries. The camp is a neutral environment, where young people can discuss the issues between their countries and talk about their personal experiences. As they do this, the campers learn important communication skills, as well as conflict resolution and critical thinking skills. Before the camp is over, they've opened themselves up to new perspectives. Most important, they've learned how to make change happen. 15-year-old Sharon Koren from Israel summed up her expectations of the summer camp with these words: "My goal is to be as understanding as I can be, to be open to hear the other side and respect everyone. Everyone wants peace. I think we're going to make peace." After the summer camp is over, these teenagers return to their countries. They go home not only with memories of new friendships, but also with the idea that they can be leaders who can work together for a better future for themselves and for the whole world. They've learned that the fighting around them doesn't have to go on forever.
Student's Book, page 34. Activity 34. Listen, read, and repeat. 1,
Spl,
2,
squ,
3,
thr,